3D audio is going to be
Sony
game
has
changing the
had
world.
a bit of
I'm
generation.
pretty sure Tecmo Bowl has a speed run. Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Most Elite podcast. And today we're gonna talk about failure in video games, but specifically failure before, I don't know how to put it, failure before success, you know what I mean? And all my friends know where I'm going with this. You can see Resident Evil on the screen, don't worry about it. I'm playing it, but it's not going to be a series. We're just playing. We're just going to have this on the screen while I discuss what I'm discussing. Honestly, if it gets too difficult to do that, I'll just record some playing and then just talk over it. I haven't done that in a long time. Normally I like to do things exactly as they're happening. Like right now I'm actually doing this. Like this is actually happening. But I wanted to come and talk about what I think I mentioned it quite a few times in old podcasts and old videos I've done about the endless rehashing and recycling of our entertainment mediums, be it books, movies, video games specifically, because that's my field. Oh, and also before anyone asks where I've been unwell. It not the T-virus or anything, but something that has incapacitated me for quite a bit. I'm feeling better. A couple of hospital visits here and there. I'm feeling better. But yeah, I wanted to talk about 3 games in particular for this episode. And I wanted to get some feedback from maybe people about what they think, because I think things are crazy, and maybe I'm an anomaly. Maybe I'm wrong, but so I'm gonna kick it off with the Avengers. And I know a lot of people are sick of hearing me talk about the Avengers. I talk about the Avengers a lot. I'm not actually gonna play this. This is gonna be me running around. Like I don't. There's bullets in here. I don't need to do any of this. So I talk about the Avengers a lot. And I think the reason I talk about the Avengers a lot is because it was a game I was interested in playing. It looked really fun. And it had like a cool story, and it just looked fun. It looked like something that fits my sort of play style, right? It's a third-person action beat 'em up. It's like Batman. It's like a Arkham Asylum, you know, with superheroes. It's Batman Arkham Asylum, but the difference is it's not a single-player open-world experience. It's a online multiplayer zoned experience, area experience, or as commonly called, a games as a service. So, the Avengers. I did a podcast on it, right? I'll save some time and direct you to my podcast, and you'll hear my thoughts on it. But it came out sometime in September, I think, and it didn't do well, to say the least. It just didn't, and a lot of that was because its reception was poor out the gate. Like it didn't have a good reception. It didn't have, in my eyes, a chance to even get one foot out the door before the internet reaction was, this is terrible. Now you yourself right now, listener, you could go back to like the very first release trailer of the Avengers right now, and I promise the top comment, it's been years, but if you could find the very top comment from when it was posted, I bet it was something like, this looks forgettable. I bet it was that. I'm willing to bet money, actually, that it was something like that. And the reason I'm willing to bet money that it was something like that is because every comment on every video that they did, all their promotional material, be it the character models, which was a legit criticism that they did correct, be it that it's not the MCU people, and like honestly, I think that's, aside from it being a games as a service, I personally think it should have been a single player game. Aside from it being a games as a service, I think that it not being the MCU heroes is what buried it. I honestly do. I think that the video game fans and movie fans overlap a lot. They're not like a separate audience. They're sort of the same audience. And I think that it being a video game rendition of the comic book versions of these characters, or a new sort of version of these characters, I think that buried it before it got a chance, because all of the PR, all of the lead up to the release of that game was just people shitting all over it, and it continues to this day. Imagine being a studio and working on a project for however long, $100 million spent, you know. Damn, he got my back. That's bad. But imagine being a studio and working on something like the Avengers, and then like, I don't actually know the dodge button. There's a dodge button in this, like there's a contextual push button. I don't know it. I'm not using my keyboard. I'm using the controller, so I don't know what it is on the controller. Oh, I'm gonna take a bite here. That's okay. There's a green herb right outside. Oh, he got to double bite me? That's fake news. This would be a guy, easy to dodge. Let me pick that up, All right, so imagine being a studio, right? And like working however long you worked on the Avengers, and then like releasing a trailer, you know, it had incredible fan expectations to manage that it couldn't have possibly managed. You know what I mean? There was no way it could be the game that fans wanted it to be, all while climbing the hill of adversity of, oh, these aren't the movie characters, oh, this is a Destiny clone, oh, it looks not fun, oh, this that. It could never ever be the game that the fans wanted it to be, and because of that, it was doomed from the start. And I personally think that it has great potential to be an amazing experience. Unfortunately, I do think, considering Square Enix released that it lost them 60 million, and Square Enix, I mean, like most companies, I meant to turn right, they're about their bottom line, and you know, the bottom line is bad. On the return of the Avengers has not been there, and who knows if it will ever be there, considering that the Avengers came out in September. In October, it was declared a dead game by all your favorite video game news outlets. You know, it was declared a dead game by all those news outlets. It was like, yeah, this game's dead. This is trash. This is garbage. That. And it never, ever got good press. You know, the Avengers never got good press. It never, I feel like no one ever looked at it with the objective eye. And because of that, in 30 days, from September to October, it lost some, 90% of its player base. And I know it's not all the bad press that did it, but the Avengers, from announcement to release, was a spiral of bad press. It was a spiral of no belief, no hope, looks forgettable. It was and still is the perfect storm of people hating it. Hating it. From before release to now. And I can't understand that logic. It's a new IP. It's a new IP. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got this. We did it. We finally got a superhero game. It stars the Avengers. We get to go and do cool action hero stuff. Had a fantastic story. You know what I mean? The story was its shining achievement, I think. And it just got fucking pulverized from release to now. And it has a DLC coming out on the 18th. Probably nobody's going to play it. Recently, the developers announced that they're going to make leveling up fit RPG mechanics. I won't say harder because it won't be harder. It's still the same fucking game. But, you know, in my eyes, it had to be a bug. I don't know if it was intentional, but all the leveling up from 1 to 50 was consistent experience throughout. It wasn't like most RPGs where, like, if you hit 25 and it took 5,000 EXP to get to 25, like, getting 26 shouldn't also be 5,000. It should be like 7,000, you know. But for Avengers, it was 5,000 consistently, or whatever the number is, all the way to 50, all the way to max. So when you got the diehard fans, when you got the no lifers who gonna no life your game no matter what, they all got 50 in like 30 hours and was like, well, what do we do now? You know, and you know, that's just, that shit happens. I feel like developers don't plan. Oh wait, what the fuck am I doing? Don't plan for that sort of stuff. But it does happen quite a bit, and it's, I gotta get the hose. It is unfortunate because I do think the perfect storm of hatred swirling around the Avengers for honestly no good reason. I mean, what has the Avengers done that was so egregious that it's like the worst game ever? What has the Avengers done to put it in? This is terrible. You know, people shouldn't play this. What has it done? What has it done? What had no end game? The Division didn't have an end game when it released. The Destiny famously didn't have an end game when it released. Destiny 2 didn't have an end game when it released 6 years later. So what has the Avengers done? What has they done to piss everybody off and make everybody hate it so goddamn much? What could they have possibly done? And the answer is just B. There is no answer. It was, well, this isn't the game we wanted it to be. These aren't the MCU people. There's no, and then you could do there's no end game, you know, it's gotta have an end game. But those weren't the criticisms. That's what those weren't the criticisms at all going in. No one knew what it would be. No one could tell, and we were just waiting. And then when we saw what it would be, you know, it was like, okay, well, this will be that. And everybody, instant hatred. Speed run is I would have just walked through, but I'm not speed running. And everybody's instant fucking hatred of it, just it never got a shot. It never got a shot. And I think that's crazy fucked up that it never even had a chance to reach its full potential. And I'm talking about it like it's dead. That's because it kind of is. Like, if you lose 90% of your player base, getting them back, unless you're fucking No Man's Sky, which honestly, even though it like crashed and burned and lost some players, No Man's Sky has had a consistent player base all through its period of failure. It wasn't like everyone stopped playing it or abandoned it. It was like, you know, it had a consistent player base all throughout. Why won't it let me use this? I gotta burn this. Yeah, I know it needs oil. I'm holding it. Okay, well. So yeah, it had a consistent player base all throughout. So it wasn't like the Avengers were like 90, I think like 200 people are playing, you know? And look, games die, games fail. I'm not saying it's like it's fucked up. I'm saying that the circumstances that led to the Avengers inevitable fail. It seems like it was going to happen no matter what, and that's what I'm saying is fucked up. I'm saying that, oh shit, oh no, I don't have to fight him. Although I probably, am I doing Nemesis %? How many bullets do I have? I could probably fight him, but I don't know the fight. I know the fight, but nah, I'm just gonna run. I don't know the Japanese text, so I think the first decision is run. Might be wrong. Here comes Nimi. There's Nimi. It's like fight or run. I'm picking the first one, whatever it is. If it's fight, then I'm fucked. If it's not, then whatever. It's fight. All right. So right here. Almost did it. Hold on. All right. So the fight is really, it's not hard. He can fuck you up easily, but here's the thing. You walk like right here and turn around. Oh shit. I don't know the fight so good. But right where he's standing is where I gotta be. But it's random. His run cycle is random when he runs and when he doesn't. You gotta get him stuck on that pole there. And I'm failing at it right now. He's gonna get me. He's gonna pick me up. Yeah. I'm probably gonna die. If I die, I'll end the video. But yeah, just imagine just for a minute, like being those developers and from fucking moment one, from the giddy up, having everyone shit all over your creation, and like just knowing there's nothing you can do to temper fan expectation, and just like knowing that like you're fucked no matter what you do, and then having, because of the T-virus situation in the world, having to like halt production pretty much, and having to like to go work from home, and then like all your progress is stunted, and like everything is just, oh, I'm getting away from that, dude. You're not grabbing me every time. And like just knowing there's nothing you can do. I would feel terrible. I would feel terrible if I was on the development team of the Avengers And I know some snarky people be like, they should feel bad because they made a bad game. They didn't make a bad game. They made a serviceable action game that no one wanted to play. And the reasons no one wanted to play it just seems so shallow. It's not like everything was bad out the gate. The game is fine. It's fun to play. All the characters feel unique. Just people fucking hate it. And with the point of this video and the point I'm trying to get across is I need to know what is the deciding factor in the hatred. Oh, I'm dead. I mean, that's yeah, it's over. I'm dead. What decides what gets a pass and what doesn't? Because if you look at it from a gaming standpoint, Avengers didn't do anything that Destiny or The Division or fucking Final Fantasy 14 did. Avengers didn't do anything as egregious as those things, and yet it's shit on relentlessly by everybody to this day. It never had a chance to even be like, I look at the Avengers and I look at a game that could be fantastic, amazing. Oh, well, I died, so that's the end of Resident Evil. So hold on a second. So actually, I realized I don't need I can just loop the video. But yeah, so I look at Avengers and I look at a game that could be amazing. It could be amazing. And I think that the public, it died in the court of public opinion, as it's called. And I think the public opinion being so skewed toward it from the beginning, there was never a time where it was like, maybe the first release trailer when they just showed all their weapons or whatever, nobody knew anything. But that second trailer that showed them, from then on, a carnival of nightmares for the Avengers. And it never recovered, and it just never got to be anything. And I don't know if Square Enix will devote the time and resources necessary to make it a success, because they could. I mean, I know they're not a super big conglomerate. They're not Microsoft. They don't have tons of money. But I think they have enough to make to really kick that into overdrive and make it what I know at least it can be. And I just don't think it'll get the chance. So that's what I wanted to say about Avengers. This is me mourning the death of a game that never got to be a game. 30 days. Imagine 30 days of anything in your life. Imagine starting a new job, right? Imagine starting a new job. You're doing a pretty good job. You're doing service, so you're no better. You're no worse or better than the next man. You fit into the mold. You spin the wheel. You're a cog. You go and you do it. Imagine 30 days later, for seemingly no reason, your entire staff votes you out of the job and says, "No, you're a dead worker. You don't get to work. You don't get to do anything." And when you ask why, they say, "Well, we just don't like your face." That's what happened to the Avengers. They didn't like the character models. Oh, there's no in-game, which was the fake cop-out answer from gamers. But so what? You guys give games a pass every single day for worse shit than no in-game. I'll tell you that. I think the only game on the market right now with like a serious in-game is Warframe. I don't think there's any other game. I don't think there's any other game that could say, yeah, we got as big as an in-game as Warframe. If somebody says that to you, they're lying. You know, so no, gamers give passes to stuff. But the Avengers, it's just no passes. No pass for the Avengers. That's over. Fuck passes. We spent 7 years giving passes. We're tired of giving them. Nah, you can't walk back the passes. You gave Destiny 8+ years of passes. You're still giving it passes. The Division 1 got a ton of passes until it got a sequel, which was great up until 1.5, 1.6, turned to shit, got passes. Everybody comes back, plays. Feyla was a terrible ending. Nobody likes it. Oh, man. Well, hey, guys, we're announcing a new year of content. Getting passes. People still playing. But these games getting passes? The Avengers been out for, it got 30 days. 90% of its player base, 30 days. Imagine that. Imagine you worked 4 years on a game. People played it for 30 days and said, fuck you, fuck this game. For what? Because it's not Robert Downey Jr.? And I don't want to hear because it's not a game that can be played. It's super playable. The loot doesn't change your character. They did the costumes, microtransactions. What do you do? That's the world we live in. I wish it wasn't like that. It is. But those things don't make it a bad game. Those things don't equal 30 days. Because if that was the case, Destiny 1 wouldn't have got to be. It released with no story, no anything, and everybody played it for centuries, and everybody goes on Reddit and posts, I'm a beta 1, year 1 player here chiming in. Here's my 2 cents on the matter. I think, everybody fucking sucks dick all the time for all these games, but a new game with superheroes, they don't get the ball. Fuck them. Now that's bullshit. That is bullshit. That's the Avengers. It's a dead game. Pour one out for the heroes we'll never get to see in that game. Because I know after this DLC, they're probably gonna like fuck it, cancel it, leave the servers running, but no more updates. Look what happened to Anthem. Got him. Fuck him. And Anthem was terrible. Anthem, unlike Avengers, was a bad game. The best thing about Anthem, the visuals, the flying, the combat felt all amazing. Those 3 things alone should have propelled it to superstar status. It just had so many core things wrong with it. The loot was bad. Again, no story, but we let Destiny slide. Not Anthem though. Anthem can't slide. It has to have a coherent story. Destiny is the only game with no coherent fucking story, and I'm talking 1. Destiny 1 for the first year and a half up until the Taken King had nothing. So, it's all good though, I guess. Fuck everything else. So yeah, and that's what I think is going to happen to the Avengers. I think it's going to get the Anthem treatment. I think it's going to get canceled. I mean, the court of public opinion already canceled it, so it's over. And I wish it wasn't. Pour one out for Bucky, Winter Soldier, he'll never be in the game. Yeah, the X-Men will never be in the game. Since it's not movie licensed, they have Marvel characters. They could put so many people in that game. We're never going to get to see him in fucking PC graphics. 144 hertz, 60 frames on PS5. We're never going to see it. Wow. Imagine that. And I know I'm speaking early because it has been only a few months it's been out. But, I mean, that seems to be if you Google Jesus Christ. Google the Avengers right now. That's every article. That's every single piece of fucking literature written is that it's terrible. And if that many people are saying it, you think Square Enix don't see it? You think they don't got some fucking guy in a stuffy business suit on his cell phone checking each article that's his whole job. Every fucking day. Look at the public opinion. Weigh that with what it cost, what it made. Should they move forward? Boom, he's going to get in the ear of a CEO. Yeah, I don't know about this one, chief. He can be like, oh, you don't know about it? And you're my guy. You normally know about things. So you know what? I don't know about it. Pull the plug. And that's what's going to happen. Sooner, who knows? Later, who knows? But it is going to happen. And I feel bad for him. Moving on. Let's talk about Godfall. Godfall. The technical demo of the PS5, is someone I respect called it. They said that, it's one of those games that it comes out to show off what the PS5 can do. And don't get me wrong, it looks amazing. Godfall is a visual delight. It is fun to look at. It, again, was a new IP. It was a new idea that, well, what if we took the looter genre and made it into a physical-only attacking genre? And I mean physical only, not like Neo with magic and transformations and weapons like bullets, like only physical. What if we took that? What if we did Borderlands? What if we did Diablo? What if we did The Division? What if we did Destiny? But we made it, 1, not games as a service, and 2, single player co-op like you wanted to be. So basically, it is the Avengers, just not games as a service. It sounds like a match made in heaven, right? Because everybody complained it was games as a service, all this shit. No, not a match made in heaven. Godfall's very first trailer, when it was announced, all on YouTube or wherever you watch your videos, everybody, with the exception of a couple of people, were like, yeah, this looks like one of those games I'll play and then forget about. Now, I need you people to understand that words have power. What we say dictates what's going to happen, especially in the entertainment sphere. Look at the Sonic movie. That is the biggest example of, if enough people say a thing, right or wrong, somebody in power is going to act on what they are saying. That's why petitions exist. That's why they so frequently work. Yeah. Forgettable. Passable. Looks boring. Tons of comments. And I'm reading these directly off YouTube. I'm not even making it up. I couldn't make it up. So you get to Godfall and you play, Now, is it a polished, super out the box game that was the best ever? No, it is not. It's missing a lot of functions from looters that other looters have had, and it should have took pages from. But here's where the passes come in. Why doesn't Godfall get a chance to say, well, it's a new game. They didn't learn from the mistakes of the predecessors, but that's not the worst thing they could have done. Maybe they'll add it in an update. Maybe it'll be a free update. You know, they could turn it around. It's not like it's a terrible game. It's super fun to play. The melee feels good. Combat feels fun. The vapor plates need some work. They need to feel different. They don't feel different. They just have a different intrinsic value. Which I mean, honestly, they're just fashion plates, and you pick your intrinsic value. Do you want to poison your enemy? Do you want to bleed them? Do you want to shock them? And then you build stat wise toward that to always have that proccing. I get it. That's sort of a basic system. Sure. That doesn't mean it can't be fun. That doesn't mean it can't be improved on given the given time. But immediately upon release, not great reviews. I think your favorite YouTube, I won't say any YouTube channels names. I'm not going to shout anybody out. Your favorite ones, I'll say that your favorite YouTube reviewers shitting all over it, calling it god awful. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It just came out. Is it in the perfect state? No, but what game has been? What game in the past 10 years came out perfect? Aside from single player story focused games. Ghost of Tsushima came out perfect. Yeah, absolutely. I'll concede. Spider-Man, yes. God of War, I hate it. Lots of people love it. So yes. But you notice the trend of those games? Single player story focused games. Not multiplayer drop in, drop out, co-op, friend focused games like the Avengers, like Anthem, like Godfall. So, I mean, what did it do that was so wrong that it had to be labeled bad fucking 2 days after release? What did Godfall do that deserved such ire from the gaming community? What did it do? What could it have done differently for you to give it a pass? Every game coming out is getting the red card. It's being sent to the penalty box. It's being ejected from the game. Why? Why? When we have tons of examples of games that deserve to be ejected from the game, still sitting on the throne to this day. Why? I can't help but wonder what decides who gets a pass and who doesn't. Because I really want to know. Last but not least, it's not even fucking out yet. Outriders. Outriders is another loot game. It is not a games as a service, although it may look like one. If anybody cared enough, they could go and read any literature from the developers outright saying this is not a games as a service. It is it is a co-op online adventure game or single player, whatever you want it to be. And you play as these altered beings who got powers from some storm in the future, where we went to go migrate to a planet, and we didn't do our homework enough, and the planet's hostile in many ways. And we get powers, and there's a civil war, there's a whole bunch of shit. None of it really matters. It's a loot game. You kill stuff, collect loot, use said loot that you just got to kill more stuff and collect more loot. That is a loot game. It released a demo. Demo got some good reviews, but it also got quite a few negative ones. And dare I say, the negative ones outweigh the good ones. As always, here we have a new IP, another new IP, and people are shitting all over it. Go to YouTube right now. Look at the comments right now. Any video, any Outriders video, be it the trailer, be it the gameplay trailer, be it the IGN We Played It first trailer, whatever you pick, go watch it right now and just look at the top 10 comments, and you tell me what you see, because I can tell you what I see. A whole bunch of fucking negative shit for a game that isn't even out yet. Unbelievable. I saw an article yesterday. I won't say the publication's name. I will say the title though, so you can reverse Google it. I saw an article yesterday that says the PS5 needs a breakout or standout co-op experience, and Outriders, and then it had ellipses ... for those who don't know what ellipses are, and it says, and Outriders ellipses isn't it. It isn't? Yeah, then what is? PS5 is in the state, in Series X, or in the stage all new consoles come out, and we got like 6 games to play, you know? So if not, we're waiting for its pool to fill up of games, and we'll evaluate then. But judging it right now when there's like 5 games or 6 games, What are you doing? And also, what are you doing to a game that hasn't even come out of the crib yet? It's still nursing. We got a demo. It comes out in a couple days. It comes out April, a month. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you writing that? With you as a journalist should know that a lot of people don't think for themselves. Let's just be honest. They go on YouTube, they look on their favorite channels, they hear their opinions, they read their favorite journalists. I won't name them, but there's a couple famous journalists out there. One who specifically writes about Destiny, one who specifically covers Crunch and shit. There's a famous journalist out there, and people go and read their work, and that they use their journalist opinions mixed with their own inherent bias to form a new, in quotes, opinion. Normally, it fits what the journalist is saying because they look for evidence to prove themselves right. That's just normally what people do. So you, as a journalist, you're writing. This isn't it. For what? What does that get you aside from clicks and views? What does that do for you? Because I can tell you what it does to Outriders. Enough of those pop up, and the guys over at People Can Fly, they're gonna start sweating. Yeah, you got comments like, this is a 360 game. Is it a 360 game? Because I don't know about you, but I remember 360 games. They're nothing like what we have now. But hey, I mean, what do I know? I'm just talking on YouTube. It's really, really upsetting that all these games that came before, the 3 games that I was talking about specifically here today, got passes and got to flourish. No Man's Sky should have been dead in the water. Final Fantasy XIV got shut down by Square Enix and rebuilt from the ground up because it was dead in the water. So I think you can't give it, if you are a good person, you can't give one thing a pass and not the next thing, because then you're just a hypocrite. Because why did that thing get a pass but not this new thing? Even if you don't like the new thing, it still deserves the rights of pass, like the thing you did like. It's like criminal justice. You're a defense attorney, you still defend the criminal because you know that as a citizen they have that right. As gaming citizens, even if you don't like the thing, it's your job, nay your duty, to give it a chance to be someone else's favorite thing, to be some other group of people's thing that brung them together, like your favorite game, like your Destinies or your Divisions. Let them make memories in these new worlds. Don't sit behind your fucking keyboard and type up, this is a 360 game, this game looks like shit, this game doesn't play fun. Are you sure those things are true? Because I'm seeing the same sort of reviews for each of the games that I talked about, and I'm feeling like we're in a mob mentality of shitting on new IPs. That's what it's looking like to me. So I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it's up for you guys to decide. It's my time today. I really wish things were different, for these 3 games. Specifically the new IPs like Godfall and Outriders. I really do wish that people would give them chances, Now, don't get me wrong. There's not all negative press for these games, but it's quite a bit of it. And as I said about the Sonic comparison, that shit moves mountains. Believe you me. So, thanks for listening today, guys. I'll be back recording videos like I was prior, before I got ill. Return of the Ill. That's a Whitest Kid You Know reference. But, alright, guys. Thank you for listening. Till next time. Goodbye.